He was abducted by the Islamist terror group in November 2011 at a hotel in Timbuktu along a Swedish and a Dutch national. McGowan was in Timbuktu as a tourist, traveling by motorcycle. International Relations Minister Njamela says McGowan was released last Saturday. The South African government did not pay a ransom for his release.
We pay no ransoms. We believe in collaboration and cooperation, even during difficult times. That's what our government and our department is about. But this time around, it was cooperation and collaboration with the family. And them allowing us to say it might take long. It's been long, it's been tedious, it's been painful, but here we are.
It's been an agonizing few years for the family. They didn't know if we would make it back dead or alive.
It was a big surprise when Stephen walked through the door, or the first meeting. But when I gave him a hug, he felt as sound and as strong as before. So he was well treated up there. We can't describe it, I guess, unless you've actually traveled the road. You really don't know what it's like. I want to thank President Zuma and his relationships with the president in Mali that they managed to achieve what they have achieved.
His heartbroken mother died in May without being reunited with her son.
We try to keep my wife going by continually saying he's coming home, he's coming home. But it didn't quite work out the way we wanted.
South African authorities are relieved at the turn of events.
It's been a very difficult time, and we need to be able to celebrate, because if you run this kind of negotiations, there's a 50-50 chance. A person can come back, something can actually go wrong. The South Africans were proud. We're very proud and very grateful about our friendly international policy, because without that it would not have happened.
McGowan is undergoing medical checkups, but according to his family, he's in good health and spirits. Yolisa, Njamela, CGTN, Pretoria, South Africa.
Indeed, a remarkable turn of events in the life of Stephen McGowan. Let's get you more on this story now. I'm joined from Johannesburg by CGTN's Angelo Coppola. Angelo, indeed quite comforting for both the family and, of course, the South African government to have their citizen back home after 6 years. Just tell us more about what the South African government said after Stephen McGowan's release.
Well, besides the press release statement that happened in Pretoria earlier, Njamela also came out, and as you saw, she was with the Minister of State Security, Mahlobo, and some are saying that perhaps the state security agencies or agents were more involved than they're letting on at the moment, and probably involved in some of the logistics in bringing McGowan back home, or bringing him out of Mali. Njamela did mention the Gift of the Givers as well, a local NGO, as being involved over the years working to secure McGowan's release. They've been tireless, they've been exhausting all of their networks in the area to try and find out whether they could get McGowan freed. The NGO's founder did say that it wasn't involved in the final arrangements, which he says happened at a government-to-government level, and that was confirmed by Mahlobo. McGowan, of course, as you've heard, is undergoing that medical treatment, and Njamela, the Minister of International Relations, has called on South Africans to give the family and Stephen McGowan some space to allow him to acclimatise to his surroundings again. Beatrice.
And indeed, the Foreign Minister South Africa's Foreign Minister was very adamant that the country did not pay a ransom for the release of Stephen McGowan. But can we assume that there was such a demand from the abductors?
Well, there have been continuous ransom demands over the years. These ranged from cash to prisoner swaps over the years when he was held captive. In fact, the New York Times is now reporting that a $4 million ransom was in fact paid. Their source is an unnamed retired intelligence official. However, the South African International Relations Minister denied this vehemently, as you heard, saying it wasn't government policy to pay ransoms. We spoke to the South African State Security Agency earlier. They also confirmed that the government doesn't pay ransoms. I did ask them if they were aware of any third party who may have put the money forward for the ransom. They said they weren't aware of any ransom being paid.